peace, and having done all to stand, stand some more, somebody. Raise up my mind. So phase 3 is coming. Yahweh says, stand to your feet. Verse 12, a loud voice from heaven says, come up here. Now there's your rapture. You want a rapture? I'm going to give you a rapture.
Good.
You want one?
Yeah.
The 2 witnesses are going to be raptured. Now, you may be, if you're one of the 2 witnesses, you'll be raptured. That is phase 3. They're resurrected and raptured to heaven. Not the people of Yahweh, but the 2 witnesses. You with me?
Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
Phase 3,
Yeah.
not complete. Not complete. Why? Moshiach, the first fruits. Amen? Who's phase 2? The Yerushalayim saints.
Yes.
Who's phase 3? The 2 witnesses. And here's the best news of all. We're getting to phase 4.
Phase 4.
You see how this is all perfectly planned? Religion says, oh, I believe in the resurrection. Oh, where are the pancakes? Yahweh's resurrection is planned in advance. It is done gradually in progressive revelation, in progressive what? Stages. In progressive stages. First comes phase 1, done. Then comes phase 2, done. Phase 3, it will be done. And now you and I enter phase 4. Now you and I are phase 4. In order, brothers and sisters. In order. Go with me to Revelation 20. Is anyone enjoying?
Amen.
Hallelujah.
I said, is anyone enjoying? Yahweh is among us this morning. Look at Revelation 20. Verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they who sat on them. Judgment was given to them, the lives of those who had been beheaded because of the witness they bore of Yeshua, because of the word of Elohim. Hello?
Yep.
They had been beheaded. Though most of the believers in phase 4 get to be resurrected because they lost their life on the earth during the Great Tribulation.
Yep.
That's you and me. We are going to go through the Great Tribulation.
Right. Yep.
And we're going to be beheaded. We're not going to blow ourselves up like those wicked suicide bombers, but Yahweh is going to allow us the privilege of being destroyed for the sake of His Son's gospel.
Amen.
And it is us who will be resurrected in phase 4. But most of the phase 4 saints will be either beheaded or killed. Not all, but most.
That's right.
You with me?
Yes.
This is the only phase, other than phase 3, where you get to be resurrected after being martyred for His glory.
Amen.
We follow in the footsteps of the 2 witnesses. What happens to the 2 witnesses? They're martyred for His glory.
Amen.
And we get to participate in the same glory to be martyred for our faith in Yeshua. Not for senseless killing, targeting innocent civilians in the name of meanness and hatred and blood libel. You with me?
Amen.
If any man suffer, let him suffer as a believer. Let your good be evil spoken of, but don't suffer for your evil. Look at verse 4. They suffered because of Yeshua, the word of Elohim, who did not worship the beast, nor his image, nor did they receive a mark on their foreheads or upon their heads. They lived and reigned with Moshiach for 1,000 years. Amen. Now listen, phase 4, listen, is the massive end time, last day resurrection of all believers except the few in phase 2 and 3. Everyone gets to, all believers will rise in phase 4. Uncompleted, it has not yet been completed. Because we will follow in the footsteps of those of phase 2, the few in phase 2 and phase 3. Listen, phase 4, listen, is pre-millennial, post-tribulation. You with me? I'll say that again. The 4th resurrection is pre-millennial, post-great tribulation. When Yeshua returns, amen, when Yeshua returns, what's going to happen? The dead are going to be raised before the millennium, after the great tribulation.
Yes.
And that's the biggest resurrection. Phase 4 is the biggest. Phase 2 and 3 were tiny. Phase 2 was a few thousand saints in Jerusalem. Phase 3 was two folks, the 2 witnesses. But Phase 4 is the great ecclesia. Phase 4 is the great company of believers. Phase 4 is the bride of Yeshua. Phase 4 is all the blood-washed saints of all the ages, from Adam down to you today, to this present day, somebody. Amen. Phase 4. That's the great general massive resurrection. Phase 4. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. See how all things are done decently and in order?
Yes.
Yahweh plans the resurrections of the dead in order. Phase 4, premillennial, post-tribulational, is done into. Now here is where I can show you the errors of the rapture. Go with me, please, to 1 Thessalonians. Is anyone enjoying? Yes. I said, is anyone enjoying? Yes. 1 Thessalonians 4. 1 Thessalonians 4. And here we're going to see phase 4 in its entirety. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I said Baruch Hashem Yahweh. 1 Thessalonians 4. Let's go to verse 16. Because the master, who's the master? Yahshua himself shall come down from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the chief messenger, with the shofar of Elohim, and the dead in the Moshiach will what? Rise first. Then, when? Then we who are alive and left over when Moshiach returns will be caught away, caught up together in the clouds to meet the master in the air, and so shall we be ever be with the master. Listen, here's where they get the false doctrine of the rapture. If you'll let me, I'll set you free today. I'll set you spiritually free if you'll let me. If you'll just let me. Turn to your neighbor and say, well, let him. Part 4 of the resurrection is 2 parts. The first part is the resurrection of every believer who ever died in the faith. Vanya's precious son, he goes first. Then when Moshiach comes, we who are alive and remain, we will be changed when Moshiach returns. So phase 4 has 2 parts. What the church has done is divided those 2 parts into a rapture, and a resurrection. Confusion, listen, phase 4 has 2 parts. When Yeshua comes, what happens? Who gets risen first? The dead. The righteous dead rise first. That's you and me, because we're not one of the 2 witnesses. Last time I checked, we were not on the calendar to be one of the 2 witnesses. Neither were we one of those saints in phase 2 who rose in Jerusalem. And neither am I the master. All right? We have a long way to go before we look and act like the master. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. How come you're looking at me when I said that? So when Yeshua returns, phase 4 tribulation, amen? The dead rise, and then we who are alive will be changed. Why will we be caught up to be changed? You can't get changed on your bed. You can't get changed on the earth, right? Do you not have to lift up your legs? Do you not have to lift up your arms, to put on a dress, put on a blouse, put on a shirt? So you lift it up into the air. Amen. So you can get changed. Where's Yahweh going to change the folks who are dead? He's going to call them out of the coffin so he can get them changed from mortal to immortal, from corruption to incorruption. And in order to get the living in the same changing room, he's got to get them up off the earth so he can clothe them as well. Amen. This mortal will be clothed with immortality. This corruption will be... So the 4th resurrection, or phase 4 of the resurrection, is held in 2 parts. What the church has done is said, those who are caught up, you with me, those who are alive and are caught up are going to heaven in the rapture. No. He's not going to change you on this earth. This earth is under the curse. This earth is corrupted. This earth is still under the curse of Adam and Adam's fall. So you cannot change you with the robes of righteousness and holiness on this corrupt earth. To allow him to put the garments of praise and salvation and eternal life, the physical body of eternity, on you, he will not defile. Amen. Whoa.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
He will not defile that new glorified holy body and change you while your feet are on the corrupted, sin-cursed earth. He's got to get you off the curse to get you clothed with set-apartness and righteousness and holiness. Somebody give him praise this morning. He will defile himself. He will defile your new physical, glorified, resurrected body, were he to allow the change to take place on this earth that is still under the curse of sin.
Amen.
No way.
So he's got to catch you up. But he's not going to catch you up to heaven. It says you'll meet him in the air. That's just an atmospheric change. How is he going to give the dead their new bodies? In the coffin?
No way.
He's got to get them off the earth.
Yes.
He's got to get them out of the coffin, off the earth, and change them in the air. Now, if we're fortunate to be alive at the parousia of Moshiach, he will also catch us up into the same dressing room so that we are equal and that those who are alive do not precede those who are dead.
Amen. Yeah.
I'm looking for phase 4. Turn to your neighbor and say, are you looking for phase 4? I can't do anything about phase 1 because I'm not Moshiach.
Is that church?
I can't do anything about phase 2 because I was not in the first century Yerushalayim saints. I can't do anything about phase 3 because I'm not one of the 2 witnesses. You can ask my wife, she'll tell you. So it must be that I'm going to have to be banking on phase 4. I'm banking on phase 4.
Yeah, me too.
You need to bank on phase 4.
Yes.
And so what the church has done, because they think, ooh, we're going to be changed and we're not going to die, and ooh, we're going to be caught up. So, ooh, that means if we're caught up, that means we're going to go. It never occurs to folks that that is just part 2, part B of phase 4. Are you with me or did I lose you? Did I lose you in phase 2?
No.
That's part B of phase 4.
That's right. That's right.
That's how they get the rapture system. They separate phase 4 into a rapture. They say, well, the catching up is a rapture. That's where they miss it. Back to Revelation 20. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Phase 4 is the most comprehensive. It's the largest. Now watch who's going to be included in phase 4. You're in good stead. You're in good hands with Yahweh.
Yes. Amen.
You're in good hands with Yahweh. For in the phase 4 resurrection, Carrie, listen to me, it's not just me. It's not just you. It's not just the ecclesia, the bride of Yeshua. It's also going to be all the first covenant believers and all the first covenant righteous. I'm going to prove to you that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are waiting for phase 4.
Hallelujah.
They're waiting for them. They're waiting for us. They're waiting for us.
Woo.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Let's go.
Hallelujah. Ephraim. 11. Ephraim 11. Hallelujah. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Get used to the Miami Beach Israel revival. Get used to it. Week after week, we need revival, and we revive ourselves as the 2 houses of Israel come together in the Master's hand. And we can't do it with 5 minutes of milquetoast word. He loves you, he loves you, he loves you, he loves me. Let's pray. Nothing to say, nothing to do, nothing. I'm tired of dead preachers preaching dead sermons to dead congregations.
Yes. Yes.
We need life, not the spirit of the Sadducees. We need the Ruach of life that will cause us to realize that our standing up is destined and ordained before the foundation of the world, somebody. We've been ordained and foreordained to stand up, stand tall, stand off the earth for a change, stand up out of our coffins for a change. I'm talking about part A and B of phase 4. I've just gotten rid of the rapture. It was easy because it was never in the scriptures.
That's right.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Ephraim 11:38. Avraham, David, Noach, Moshe, Yitzchak, Shmuel, Barach, Yiftah, Gideon. The Hall of Fame of Emunah. The Hall of Fame of Emunah. Trust. Now watch this. Hebrews 11:38. Of whom this age was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and mountains and caves and holes of the earth, having obtained witness through belief. All these did not receive the promise. What promise? of the resurrection. And here's why, verse 40. Elohim having provided what is better for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. Yes, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, and Shlomo will be perfect with us, but not without us.
They're waiting.
Phase 4. I'm going to be, you are going to be in the best company that heavenly blood can buy.
That's right.
They're waiting on us.
Abraham, Yitzchak, Shlomo, David, Yiftach, Gideon are waiting for us to get our heart and our act and our life right with Yahweh. So together, we can be perfected. You think about what I'm telling you. Yahweh could have raised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Noah, and Moshe before him. He's going to raise my mother from the grave, but he chooses not to. My blessed mother of blessed memory is going to rise at the same time that those great men of Emunah, of Hebrews 11. What an honor. What an honor to be in that company. Post-tribulation, pre-millennial, phase 4 company.
Amen.
Amen, somebody.
Oh, hallelujah.
Woo!
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Phase 4 company. You think about it. When we rise from the dead at the end of the Great Tribulation to enter the millennial kingdom, we won't be alone. We'll see Solomon. Hopefully he won't bring his wives.
I think so.
All right, bring a couple. Not too many, please. Nathan, David, Jephthah. Who am I? Who are you to be raised to accompany these folks into the glory? You with me? Where is it? Where are these folks now? Their spirit goes up. Their spirit is with Yahweh, but their body's in the ground. But when their body comes out in phase 4 to enter the Atid Lavo, you and I, if we die in the faith or if we're alive in the faith, are going to go with that. What a blessed company. What a blessed company. That's why it's called the blessed resurrection. It's not just any resurrection. It's not just a resurrection. It is the blessed resurrection because of the folks you're going to be keeping company with. Come on, somebody, give them a praise offering, a clap offering, a shout offering. You're so proud of me. That's when you're supposed to say, don't quit, Rabbi. You guys missed your cue. Where were we? But now go back to Revelation 20. Revelation 20. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. We're going to be in some kind of company. Birds of a feather do flock together. The righteous blood-washed saints of the ages that weren't part of phase 1 because we're not Yeshua. That aren't part of phase 2 because we're not first century saints. That are not part of phase 3 because we're not one of the two. But we are. What a great company. Amen. Hallelujah. It's a great cloud of witnesses. In Hebrews 12, those spirits in heaven. Those spirits, like Vanya's, those spirits in heaven are the great cloud. He's joined the great cloud of witnesses. But guess what? We're rising. But guess what, Vanya? We're rising at the same time. Because when I done die, and I will die, because there's appointed unto men once to die, and then the judgment. Hebrews 9:27.
Hallelujah.
We're coming out at the same time. Yes, you love your son, but Yahweh also loves me, and we're equal. And we're both coming out in phase 4 at the same time. Oh, mama. And look who's going to be there, Noah. Hey, old man Noah. What you been doing? Oh, just hanging out with Yah, man.
I think
Yah love, man.
he's going to be young.
You've been hanging out with Yah love. The love of Yah. It taketh away the sins of the world. How are things up there? How have things been up there? No problem. No problem.
No problem.
We're just waiting for you to get your life right with Yahweh. Because Yahweh doesn't want us to be perfect without Roberto. Yahweh doesn't want us to be perfect without Frankie. Yahweh doesn't want us to be perfect without Linda. We are waiting for them. That's phase 4.
We are the same for him.
It's the most blessed phase. If this doesn't phase you, you need phase 4. Matter of fact, you only need phase 1 to get to phase 4. Because you got to trust phase 1 happened to get to phase 4. You know how come I know I'm going to rise from the dead, and all my days I'll wait for my change to come, even though worms destroy this body of mine? I know that in my flesh I'll see my Redeemer. You know why? In the latter day, he's going to stand on the earth. You know why? Because phase 1 is completed.
That's right. Phase 1 is done.
Done.
Done. It's done.
Done.
Finished. It's a done
Done.
deal.
Revelation 20. Here's what's going to happen, brothers and sisters. You're going to be raised. You're going to live and rule with Moshiach for 1,000 years.